It looks like we have a little visitor who wanted to start the show with me. Look at him. Look at him. It's my buddy. Ollie's here. He's here to hang out with me at the... Oh, we're getting crazy. Oh, we're getting crazy. All right. Calm down. He's fine. We're fine. Everything is good. Real talk. Take us to the morning light. Let's start the show. Tony Khan. There's fucking hair everywhere. Now I'm even madder, Tony Khan. I'm coming for you. Let's go. Let's go.
Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s. A different kind of mind, they say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution. Monster on the mic, I feel like hip-hop then adopted me. You pussy niggas shook, you let them turn this to a mockery. I give a fuck about their recognition. I'm trying to spit the fucking truth, somebody get the message. These politics, they overstate the obvious. They shooting like Stoyakovich, it's war on every continent. Deeper than you know, I'm what you hate if you the government. Young black with heart, I put a hex on the establishment. Niggas playing patty cake and I was trying to regulate. A lot of them are emulate, but none of them are demonstrate. Hip-hop will never need a eulogy. They give us 10%, they trying to take away gratuity. Work for what you want, I learned that shit from fucking Aubrey. And she ain't never lied, I told her this was nothing new to me. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming. Here we go, I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she's super real, she think that ain't no...
It's feeling like an old school MonDave too, because it's wrestling related, which I'm sure delights so many people in the chat. But the reality is, this is a long fucking time coming, okay? Because I am not someone who enjoys saying I told you so. I am not the one to enjoy being right. That's not me, ever. Except that's exactly who I am. I love it. You know why? Because I'm dead on fucking Dave, and I usually am right. It just turns out to be the case. Hey, there's a 10, 10, and 10 from my buddy Patty Pat. We is the motherfucker, and he's at, I don't even know. Time to take a bic to that dome already. Hey. First off, hat change for the 10, and most of my shit's growing back, motherfucker. I'm wearing 40 quite well, baby. That's an old army buddy right there. What's up there, Patty Pat? That's $10 from the Patrick. We're starting it off today. Hey, if we get any love through Streamlabs, we will do a volcano rip today. Woo! Volcano rip. We got bong rips, all of it. We're going to do it. Hit that like button, tweet it out, let everybody know that we are here on this Monday. Look, today's been kind of a crazy day. It's been kind of a crazy weekend. The girlie is out of town. She's in Greece. I got the whole week to just muster up all the content that I could think of. Arcing rows of Jisman content for all of you guys all over your face, neck, and chest, and I'm very excited for it. Went to MGM Springfield today, hung out there for a little while, came back, plenty of time, got all kinds of wonderful shows for you, including the Tony Khan Spectacular, because the reality is, man, long time coming. Tony Khan has been in the midst of a snowball meltdown of epic proportions, not only in the last couple of weeks because of the situation that happened with the Tuesday Night War. This man has been in mental distress and turmoil for months, arguably since he signed CM Punk. I make the argument even further than that. This dude is a fucking mental child, and there's so much... Just look at his timeline. Just look at his social media. Anybody who tweets that much and does that much is fucking unhinged. I'm sorry. I don't even care if it's you in the chat. If you're doing that much, that emotionally, there's something wrong with you. You're broken. You're broken. Broken, and not in the Matt Hardy way. Actually broken, and Tony Khan is actually broken. Another 5 from Patty. Pat, baby. Thank you so much. Dave, see the reason why TK hates WWE so much? Oh, yeah. Don't worry. We'll get into his reasons. Oh, we're going to cover it all. Don't worry. We're going to cover the whole fucking thing. The day it became personal for him. Fuck Tony Khan. It's been personal since day one. I don't want to hear his bullshit stories about my mother was in the Mayo Clinic. She was recovering. And then I say the WWE was tampering with the wrestlers. First off, we're going to get into that a little bit more. But first and foremost, I'm going to say probably the most unpopular thing that anyone said about the situation with the tampering. Isaiah Swerve Scott is a fucking snitch bitch. Isaiah Swerve Scott is a snitchy bitch. Aight? William Regal came home. The other guy who was tampered with. These are wrestlers. These are independent contractors. We literally live in the era that we do of the money that we make in wrestling because of tampering, because of promoters talking to each other and wrestlers making backstage deals to be able to get the fuck out of their current deals, whatever they have to do. That is the fabric of wrestling. You know what you don't do? Snitch. Like Isaiah Swerve Scott did. What a bitch. Anyway, we'll get more into that shit. And by the way, incredibly talented wrestler. I love Isaiah Swerve Scott, whatever his fucking name is now. Strickland. Love him. Great wrestler. Bitch. Snitching bitch. It's appropriate that he was kicked out of or gone from Hit Row because bitch. Anyway, there's a lot to cover, man. There's so much with the Tony Khan situation that we have to get to because, my God, the way this situation happened, let's back up. Let's slow down and get into this from kind of the beginning here. So we know what happened with AEW. They came into prominence and, Cody Rhodes and the Elite. They were the engine. The engine. They were creative. One of the biggest draws of this promotion was that they were not going to be like WWE in that the wrestlers were going to have more control. They were going to be able to be the executives. They were going to be able to write the ship, do all that stuff. That immediately stopped. That stopped so quick. As soon as Tony Khan got involved and got any sort of power, he took all creative control and everybody just ceded it. They were okay with it. But Cody left and a lot of other people ended up not being too happy at certain points. And some have left because of it. Other people have just kind of adapted and stayed with it, mainly because I think they can get what they want out of Tony because Tony's such a fucking mark. Tony doesn't seem to run shit with an iron fist. This dude is a quivering pile of piss. He's so terrified of everything and everybody around him. All he knows how to do is just mark out. Just mark out and just suck his own shit on the internet. And he cries. He starts fights, and this is the problem that I have with Tony Khan for the most part. He starts fights and then cries about them. Just whines, just acts like he's the victim. He's acting like he's not actually in competition, but talks about being in competition and tries to fucking start up all the competition and get WWE riled up, begging WWE to compete with him. And every time WWE does compete, like when they really take this shit seriously, they smash his nuts open. They smash him. They embarrass him. Look, there's so many hypocrisies with AEW, it's not even funny. You know, we all the shit that they said they weren't going to do and be like AEW, shit, or be like WWE. Hell, if you watch the pre-shows for the pay-per-views, it looks like 2016 WWE pre-shows. It's the same panel, the same filming, the same set. It's all the same shit. So Tony being like to just go even further and show just how pissy and whiny and moany and petty he is, he was like, the big coup, well, we'll get CM Punk. We'll get CM Punk. We'll bring him in and everything. We're going to show them how it's done because we're not WWE. We can't fuck this up. No. We're better. We're different, even though we're the exact same. Punk comes over. Punk is still the same Punk that he was back in the day. So he does Punk things. Tony is a quivering pile of piss. So we can't deal with CM Punk, not the way that Vince can or Vince did. Because remember, Punk got pissy in WWE. He just went home. They just sent him home. They didn't give him a chance to ruin anything, get him out. And then remember, this is what I love about the Tony Khan situation, about his mother, about when it became personal. It's the same fucking thing that CM Punk tried to pull. Listen, Everyone tried to give WWE so much shit because CM Punk cried and whined and moaned that he got his official fucking release papers on his wedding day or something like that. First and fucking foremost, even if WWE did really target that day for how they would even know about it, who cares? If they did, I don't think they did. CM Punk stopped showing up to work. He stopped coming in. They fired him. They sent him paperwork eventually, and unfortunately, he got him on his wedding day. Boo fucking who? You know what I mean? And he's even trying to come back into the fold. So whatever. You know, and he came back after that. Technically, I don't care. Oh, no, I'm working for Fox. I'm not working for WWE. I'm working for Fox. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You get paid enough, you'll come back. Shut up. Your brother robs your piggy bank. Shut up. You know? But anyway, you just like with Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul, if you stick your dick in a crazy outlet, you get what you get. I am not going to cry for you when CM Punk does Punk things. You're not going to get the sympathy vote from me because you were trying to use Punk in a petty manner. You were going to try and fucking just shove this up WWE's ass. Problem is you couldn't do it because CM Punk is CM Punk. You're not going to be able to get it out of him. And eventually the whole situation blew up. Embarrassment. Tony Khan then has to fire him in Chicago and talk about how he was scared for his life and his safety. Listen, Punk broke this man. If Tony Khan wasn't already a broken individual, CM Punk broke him, snapped him like a mental twig, just destroyed his fucking mental acumen. Because since Punk has left, Tony Khan has been unhinged. He's been unfucking hinged. You know, they want to act, and TNT and TBS and all this shit wants to act like they don't know that there is going to be program interruptions this time of year when playoffs happen. They cover all the sports. They have all the sports. They know the playoff dates before they come. They have months in advance. I get that Wednesday is their night. I understand that Wednesday is their night. But WWE only has shows Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Thursday, you can move to. Wednesday, you can. Listen, I've never understood why promotions don't like to piggyback off of the sport. You know what I mean? Go after the sport. Run it late that day. Don't run in the same time slot. Don't move it to another day. And I certainly wouldn't move it to a competitive day. Now, what makes this sweeter about the NXT AEW Tuesday Night War was that somehow Tony Khan tried to make WWE like somehow feel responsible for creating a Wednesday Night War, even though NXT already existed on Wednesday nights and AEW was coming in to Wednesday nights. Somehow, and I was shocked at how much of the well, actually not, because wrestling fans are fucking stupid. How much of the wrestling population bought this and actually fell on the side of AEW. Well, WWE just should move. Why can't they just move? Why? You know, they don't have to create a conflict. So they fucking move. They move to Tuesday, right? They actually move off the date. They give them the fucking win. They move off to Tuesdays. And for the past year now, a couple of years, they've been building. They've redone NXT. They've redone it top to bottom. Shawn Michaels is now taking full control and doing the things that he's doing. And NXT has been very, very, very good. And lately, they've really done a great job of bringing in mainstream talent, all the main talent from WWE, whether it be Becky Lynch, Dominic Mysterio. They're winning titles down there. And so for a while now, WWE has been bringing in major talent to up the numbers in NXT, and it's worked. So it's not like there was anything new. So when the playoffs come and Tony decides to go to Tuesday, you know, you're making a declaration. And, you know, you didn't just make the declaration. You really go and make it personal. You come after them, you know? And I get that WWE counter-programmed. And why wouldn't they? They loaded up. They were like, all right, Asuka, John Cena, Undertaker, Braun Breaker in a fucking match. They loaded up. But why are they wrong for doing that? Why wouldn't you defend your territory, your time slot, and especially keep this in mind, AEW has been losing the battle lately. Their numbers going down. NXT has been on the rise. NXT has been incredibly successful lately, and it's been cool to see because the product has been really good. In fact, if we're being fair to WWE, they're kind of rocking right now. $2 from Teddy. He doesn't deserve the name Tony, right? I mean, they're kind of rocking right now. There's a lot of fun stuff happening in the WWE side. A lot of good wrestlers coming back. We find out that Vince is out. I got to do a video on how Vince fucked Vince. I can't wait for my Vince fucked Vince video. It's going to be amazing. It's not even getting the rounds yet. Like, the gravity of what Vince did and how this backfired on him and got him out of creative is unbelievable. And I can do a show just on that. It's amazing. Yeah, fake, absolutely. The attendance numbers have been awful. Their Friday show, the other show they created, have been fucking terrible. They don't even put out the numbers anymore for that as much. You don't see them talk about it as much. But I digress. WWE went and made 30 minutes of commercial free. Tony Khan counters, 30 minutes free. It's just like, it was great. It was great. Like, this is how you want to see it. Tony Khan loaded up his show the best he could, open with Daniel Bryan, close with Edge, Luchasaurus, all this stuff. They countered. In fact, they gave like 50 minutes of commercial free. They did everything they could. Now, I don't think anybody rationally, unless you're just a big AEW mark, I don't think anybody rationally thought that AEW was going to win that night. Not when Undertaker got teased, not when Cena got announced, not when Heyman got announced, not when Asuka was going to be there. No. They were not going to win. So why try so hard? Because you want to win, right? So try hard, right? But when you lose, after being so evocative, provocative, after you do all that, how the fuck are you going to go live on or go on Twitter and start talking shit? It's unbelievable. So they get their asses kicked, right? It's beautiful. They get their asses kicked. NXT goes 921,000 viewers and a .30 in the vaunted demographic 18 to 49, which, by the way, is not vaunted. Who cares? It's a small portion. Who cares? Give me 1 second, guys. Unfortunately, we got grease timing coming in. Uno momento. But I'm just going to mute. Take this. Sorry about that. I had to say goodnight. She's in Greece. She's in Greece. Had to say goodnight. So they get their asses kicked, right? Fake says, I don't think they would have won even without everyone else because they weren't on their regular night. It would have been closer, but I still think they'd lose. Absolutely. Even Cody Rhodes was on. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Everybody, they really loaded up, Alyssa. They really did. And by the way, how you doing, Chad? I see Cuck, I see DM King, Fake Ass Swat, Top Tomato, all these wonderful people. So I got right into it tonight. I didn't even go into the chat. So many people. Tweet out the stream, host it up, hit the like button. Let's get some love going tonight, baby. So you lose. AEW puts up an abysmal number. which is okay. Which is okay. It's okay to put up this number. There's nothing wrong with putting up that number. But what's stupid is to then go and take shots. And this is how Tony Khan responded. This week, 2 active decades-long rating streaks come from 2 great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA, neither John Cena nor Undertaker had ever been on a WWE show under 1 million total viewers with plus under 400K in the demo. Even if this wasn't a manipulative and untrue and like very, not untrue because it is technically true, but it's NXT. It's a night they're not Tuesday. You know what I mean? There's so many like shut the fuck up in this message. Even if that wasn't the case, to tweet this out is so bitchy and stupid and wrong to do because you're talking about legends, Hall of Famers, people that are huge in the industry, and they are the main events and the draws, right? Well, you have draws too. In fact, after your failed fucking experiment with CM Punk, you made a lateral move to go get another guy who I feel is more bitter. I think Edge is nicer. But if you listen to what Edge says Edge is a lot more fucking petty and bitter about this whole thing that I think people, and we're going to hear about it in the next few years. I don't think this was as nice. I don't think he's forgiving. I think Edge is friends with all those salty motherfuckers down there. FTR, all those guys, Christian, they're all just salty motherfuckers. Okay? And Edge is exactly in that same fucking category. So you get another guy, Edge being a 50-year-old super draw, one of the most popular people in all this, but WWE had no creative for him. They have no new ideas for Edge. They tried a new idea. It didn't work. They gave him new theme music. A faction that he was involved with was dying with him, and they change it up and they fix it without him. And then that faction becomes the biggest faction, one of the biggest factions next to the Bloodline in the entire company. Addition by subtraction. So you bring in Edge, and then, even though Edge was bitching and complaining about, no new creative and all this, he comes back with the exact same music, the exact same shtick, makes sure to copyright his names as much as he can, use all the Edge trademark, rated R, all this stuff, and then immediately go right to Christian and immediately feud with Christian. It was the most obvious and uncreative thing that they could have possibly have done with Edge, and they draw terrible numbers with him in his first match, 609. So what does that say about Edge? If you're going to make this statement about legends, what about your guys that you're signing to be your draws? The fact that Edge in a main event drew 609,000 is fucking embarrassing. Would I ever want to say that? No. Why would you? Why would you want to say it? What would be the point of saying it? I don't even like saying it as a fan. I don't even need to say it as a fan because it's not something that should even be used in this situation. It's dumb because it's counter to your own arguments. Because anytime that you champion a show and they do badly, that's the argument. It's the exact same thing you could always use, and it's stupid. It's a dumb thing. Now, I'm not the biggest Booker T guy in the world. However, I don't know if Booker T has ever been more right on something. And I love this. Fake, what does it say about Moxley, Punk, Jericho, Danielson, all of them combined? They can't get over AEW consecutively. Such a stupid point. It is. It's a horrible point because you bring in all the guys that everybody on social media, all the wrestling marks say are the best wrestlers in the world. They're the greatest. They got Samoa Joe. They got the Ring of Honor All-Stars. They got everybody. And they can't draw a million. their attendance is going down. Their house shows are sucking. They chose the wrong path. And I think it's starting to show. And it's also really important to note that on the same note of continuing to be just like WWE, they get embarrassed. In my opinion, Wembley does not go down as the huge success that AEW was originally touting. For me, for one, it was the end of the CM Punk experiment, and that was the biggest story out of AEW's event in Wembley. Until the numbers lied. They make fun of WWE all the time. They go after the numbers, the fudging of the numbers of attendance, live attendance, and then they did the exact same fucking thing. And they did it while trying to tout that they had the biggest live wrestling performance of all time. And they get caught being wrong by like 10,000 numbers, attendance numbers. I mean, they're so hypocritical. And I got to hear all this tribalism talk and shit. And it's usually only directed at WWE fans or people who are not like sucking the cock of AEW. This is all from them. It's all from them. AEW has literally just come in and started the entire fight and then somehow convinced about 600 to 900,000 people that they're the victims. They're the victims. They somehow, we didn't land on Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest landed on us. Like, no, motherfucker. What are you talking about? But anyway, this is what Booker T said. One guy I try not to dig at is Tony Khan because he's a guy trying to run a business. But at the same time, I got to take a dig at his last comment that he made about the NXT rating. He said that it was the first time that John Cena and The Undertaker appeared in front of less than 1 million people for WWE. And the thing is, he's got Edge and Christian and all those guys. So it's like when you say stuff like that, you might want to think about it before you say stuff like that because Edge was in the main event. Edge was in the main event of that show, and they pulled 609,000 viewers. The thing is, I'm sure Tony Khan thought that he was going to get a bigger number. I can be positive on this, but I can't be positive on this, but I can imagine that Tony Khan would have thought AEW would have gotten a bigger number. No question. No question. Khan thought he was going to get a bigger number that night. I didn't. I think I nailed it. I think I said at one point they were going to draw around 600,000. And they should have been happy to do it. They should have been thrilled to do it. By the way, tweet out the stream if you've yet to do so, my Liebschens, because the Dave Rage is real. Tweet it out. So I believe that. He absolutely thought he was going to get a bigger number. I don't know what Tony Khan's modus operandi is. I don't know what his fixation on WWE is, but I've said this once and I'll say it 1,000 times. Tony Khan's got a hell of a product. He's got a hell of a thing going, but I really think it's just like WCW. Yeah, at the end, they focused on WWE everything. They were trying to counter program every Monday night. What are they doing? And I really think WWE thought themselves right out of the war because they were focused on winning and beating WWE when they already had a hell of a product. So Booker's forgetting a few things, because he was in that war. He was in the WCW. He's forgetting how bad it was at the end of it. He really is. It was pretty bad. And WCW did a lot of things wrong. And the funny thing is, I see a lot of 2001 WCW and AEW. I really do. I just see a lot. So the thing is, when you talk about this stuff, now we're going to get into this whole situation. When you start making all these tweets and you start making everything about WWE and you're being so obsessed and you're making all these comments about other legends, and that's really just kind of pointing out that how bad your legends are drawing. One thing that you can be sure of is that wrestlers are going to talk, and wrestlers are going to take things personally, and you may lose the locker room. Tony Khan, I think the longer that this goes on, the longer that he tweets, the longer that he looks like a mark, the longer that he talks about being fearful of his life and all this type of shit when Jim Cornette would have shot 19 people by now, I think you're going to lose the locker room. A lot of these younger guys like him because they can push him around or they can get whatever, just like the Bischoff situation. I don't know what the case is, but you're going to lose this long term, especially if WWE continues. Listen, the worst thing that could have happened to AEW was Vince getting fucked. And look, Vince got fucked. Let's not mince words here. Vince McMahon just got fucked out of his job. I'm happy for it because he fucked other people getting his job back. The retirement, all that. He came back out of retirement to sell the business. That's all he said he was going to do, to facilitate but he took back control of creative. He was obviously trying to put himself in a situation by creating a new situation that he would be in charge. He was doing everything he could to fuck Triple H, who had a heart attack as Vince was just destroying everything that he built. He was fucking Triple H. His daughter was already kind of out of the picture. And then when she came back, he made sure to fuck her too. He fucked everybody that he could to get back into creative and sold it to the best situation that he could to put himself in the best spot. So when Ari Emanuel in the first numbers meeting throws his name under the bus as to why the TKO stock price is down, which is accurate, by the way, because he's being federally investigated again. He's got the creepy mustache. He's doing all these horrible things that is just drawing negative attention. He's got the Saudi Arabia shit going on, which is not helping him. And the longer this stuff happens in the Middle East as well, all these things, the TKO is not rising. So what does he do? They oust Vince from creative and they give it back to Triple H. And Triple H has given NXT to Shawn. Shawn is going big with everything that he's doing. This is the worst thing that could have happened because Triple H is not afraid of AEW. He will counter program. He will go as hard as humanly possible. And he met with CM Punk, or at least they had conversations of meeting with CM Punk. They will do whatever they can to do this the right way, to just fucking go for it. They put the pedal to the metal. They're telling long-term stories. They've changed the women's division once again. They've brought back people to reinvigorate that whole division while getting rid of quietly. They got rid of a lot of people, including Dolph Ziggler, who is very beloved by the small-time wrestling community. Just all these people that really, nobody cared. This one was probably the least amount of stink that came from all the releases that we've had so far. Nobody really cared. It's because the product is better and they're able to do all this stuff. But anyway, Tony Khan continues just to spurg and go off the fucking handles and on everything. And so October 13th, after they lose, he goes, "This weekend marks 1 year since Mayo Clinic saved my mom's life. During her ordeal, many AEW talent, too, came to me alleging WWE tampering, including them to break their contracts. I'll never forget these phone calls at her side in the hospital when business became personal to me." Lie, bitch. You've been personal with this since day motherfucking one, and you know it. Stop it. "This is nothing new. I mentioned it last year after she came home. It's relevant today because she checked in for surgery 1 year ago. And I mentioned this several times. Mayo Clinic are heroes. My mom's dead. I have no sympathy. She's dead. What the fuck you? I don't care. It's business. Jesus. Wrestlers made their own fucking organization and you took creative control from them and you want me to fucking cry about the fucking way that wrestling business is done? Fuck yourself." So he gets dragged for this, of course. He gets dragged for it. He gets absolutely just eviscerated for it because it's a stupid point. And then, of course, he goes on, "Not that I should be surprised, but the same WWE avatar accounts that spam me every day, no matter what I say or what it's about, now turning their wrath while I'm recovering from a near-death experience. It's why I straight hate these people to the bottom of my heart with all of my soul." Shut up. This guy is running the show. This emotionally bankrupt child is running the show. How can Jericho be okay with this? How can Chris Jericho tolerate this? And he is a con-cock sucker. He slurps that con-cock so much. How can he be okay with it? How? How is it possible? Because this guy is so bitch-made. No wonder why he loves Isaiah Scott. Isaiah Scott's just a little snitch. Little snitchy bitch who'll come and fucking, oh, they're tampering with me, Tony. They're tampering with me, Tony. He would have been huge in WWE if they would have brought him back when they had time. That would have been huge. Huge. Yeah, go hire Vince. There you go, Joker. I love that. Using his mom's situation to try to get sympathy is so gross. It's so gross fake. It's so and it's gross to people. It's not even gross to it's gross to people like us who's going through things or have been through things with their own mothers. But it's gross to everybody because it's so transparent and stupid. It's so dumb. In the AEW locker room, there's all these reports from Brian Alvarez and others that just stop, Tony. Just stop. Stop tweeting. They're basically wanting to treat him like Trump. Just stop tweeting. Even though his problems go way beyond tweeting. He can't drink a fucking bottle of water when he's on air because he's got so much anxiety about the job. He almost chokes. Hey, this guy is just the fucking worst. You know, I just don't get it. He talks and whines about Booker of the Year stuff. He cries about everything that happens. Any shot that's taken, even though if it's reciprocal from stuff that he's done, just whine and cry and bitch and moan. It's so crazy. SRS on Fightful explained 2 occasions. So this is the contract stuff that we already talked about this. It was the 2 that were the big ones, even though Khan said, so many were coming. 2 verified. Khan and Regal. Regal did go back to WWE. Take that for what it's worth. I don't know. You know, it's so ridiculous. But regardless. So one of the things that I love so much about the situation is just the memes. It's the WWE Tony Khan last Tuesday. Oh, yes. By the way, the best part of all this, it was Tony Khan's birthday. I forgot that part. It really does make it extra special, doesn't it? Tony Khan's birthday. Come on. Come on. That's fucking beautiful. That's fucking beautiful. By the way, we do got the Discord open. If you want to have your questions, comments, concerns, hopes, dreams, quotes, Tony Khan, fuck stories, whatever you got, come on in. We're talking today, but that's beautiful. Happy birthday, dear loser. It's appropriate. Oh, you can't hear the tweet? Oh, no. You couldn't hear the tweet? It's because I had it fucking muted, I'll bet. Yep. Hold on. Damn it. It's okay. We didn't need it. It was the Bellas singing happy birthday. Son of a bitch. It's all right. They were horrible anyway. So speaking of CM Punk, people in CM Punk camp said that responding with regards to Tony Khan's post about the story of HBK and Triple H, looking to send a message to Tony by saying that kind of stuff makes him happy. He stepped to be away from the company, which is funny because this is the type of stuff that you would have thought would have drawn CM Punk to the company because this is exactly the same type of stuff that CM Punk would do.
This weekend marks 1 year since Tommy C saved my mom's life.
Hey,
during her ordeal, many SFTP talent came to me alleging DEADONDAVE
from
tampering,
Teddy. This weekend marks 1 year since Tommy C saved my mom's life.
I'll never forget
during
these phone
her
calls of
ordeal,
her side in the
many
hospital.
SFTP talent came to me alleging DEADONDAVE tampering, including them to break their contracts. I'll never forget these phone calls at her side in the hospital. That's right. I am a roving bastard. Right, you bastard. There's no question there. Thanks so much for the 555. Motherfucker. Yeah. There we go. So, hey, we're $5 on the way in the Streamlabs to get ourselves a little volcano action. Little volcano action, babe. We're going to volcano that up. We also got some other stuff too. Thank you. I'm very happy. Stream Elements goes immediately in my pocket. I love that. It does. I don't have to wait 2 months. 40% of it isn't taken. I love it. I love it. Love it. But you would have thought that this would have been the stuff that would have kept CM Punk in the company because of just how similar it is to the way CM Punk acts. But apparently, even Tony Khan is too petty for CM Punk, which is actually quite beautiful. It really is. It's quite beautiful. So we already talked about the art. Look at that fucking mustache. Why did Vince think that mustache would be good? Evil Vince. Evil Vince. So, I mean, like, Vince being ousted like this is just so good. So he's got a title for nothing. It's amazing. It's great. And then the memes just were so good. This is a great one. Finn getting his digs in. It's so great. Behind every great group is a great mommy. Happy birthday, Rhea Ripley. Using this picture of all pictures. It's just fantastic. I fucking love it. This was during the Tuesday Night War. This is at the AEW event, which you can see the attendance is not great. But look over in the... But take a look over in the VIP. They're watching NXT in the VIP lounge. They were watching the NXT show. Oh my God. I love it. I love it so much. Just going to drink my coffee. That's bad. That's bad. And look, a big reason why this happened was just because of how loaded the NXT show was. I personally thought they were going to bust a Millie. I would have loved for them to bust a Millie. But if they would have busted a Millie, we may have not got that beautifully spurgtastic comment from Tony Khan. We may not have gotten it, man. So I'm appreciative.
Oh my! Hey man, what's it take to get a job around here?
Thank you so much.
How are you, man?
I'm wonderful.
I got my gear and everything.
I mean, you ain't gonna need it. All right, that's right. Thank you so much.
You saw my last match, didn't you?
No.
It's still so funny to hear Undertaker talk. Hey man, and then when he's the Undertaker boy, he comes out and he tells you to walk with the Reaper. Have you ever gotten to the point where you would ever think that you could dance with the Reaper? You walk through the valley of the shadow of death and you look in the eyes of the Undertaker, and you will never rest in peace. Yeah, you know, it's great to hear him actually be Redneck Mark. It's fantastic. And again, it all comes down to 921 to 609. This was not a small victory. This was a massive, sweeping fucking defeat for AEW. And personally, I love it. I couldn't be happy. I really couldn't. I could not have been happier with the whole goddamn situation. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And we have so many things on Tony. The constant marking out, the constant fucking, look at these type of things. Thank you for watching the Saturday Night Collision on TNT. We had a great show, including, like, why does he tweet like this? Like, have an AEW puffer account. Run that. Don't put your name on it. Don't put your name on it. You know? The Horror King Mayhem. Being a CEO at a company, I could definitely see why WWE do things the way they do. It's easy for people to say this, but when you are on actual balls, you have to make when you're an actual boss, you have to make a lot of tough decisions. Right. And you have to make them without looking like a fucking biggity bitch. You do. You got to fucking find ways to unify people in your company. Not do things like this where it just doesn't make any sense, where you're a spurgtastic spurgy boy. You know, it's embarrassing the way that he's handled stuff. And I don't understand why more talent in AEW hasn't kind of had more problems with it. It's just, I don't know. You got to remember, Dave, he's only 41. Cut the kid some slack. It's embarrassing that him and I are about the same age. Jesus, you wouldn't want me running anything, would you? My God, I'm lucky to be having right here. Have the little bit of shit that I got. My fucking God. This man is broken. And I don't know if the CM Punk situation broke him completely or what happened. I'd like to think it did. I really would. It makes me happy to think that it broke him. It's just constant. Oh yeah, look at this. Yes, Vince allegedly. See, he thought that he was even bullshit. He thought he was responding to somebody who was like talking to him and shit. It's just so good. Talking good with him. Yes, Vince allegedly uses his power and influence to shoot a lot of shots. Well, you got to shoot some shots, man. It's just like, look, thank you. Oh, it's just fucking horrible. I just can't deal with his look at this fucking timeline. It's unbelievable. Thank you, Luchasaurus. Justified Holy Sheeta. Like, what are you talking? Like, get an AEW puffer account. A boost account, something like, where is your AEW channel? 458,000 followers? Use this. Use this. This is the account that you should be tweeting all this spurgy shit, not your personal account. Doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. It's beautiful. But the Tony Khan stuff just doesn't stop. The memes never end. It's just absolutely amazing. I honestly don't have too much more to say on Tony. I've gotten pretty much everything off my chest on this guy. He's just one of the most perplexing figures. And look, I don't have a problem with AEW. I really don't. I think having a competition is good. I think having more options for people is what we want. We want more wrestling options, but we want good wrestling options. You know, we've lived through this before. Anyone who thinks AEW is anything different than the early days of TNA, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. TNA drew some nice numbers early on. When they brought in Hogan, when they brought in Bischoff, and they did all that stuff, they actually did draw some nice numbers for a little while. Not great numbers, not fantastic, but they were drawing decent. You know, they were at least they tried to go live, they tried to do all those things. It doesn't work. There's no room. There's no room. And now because TNT or because fucking TNA had such a hard time keeping a corporate, big time television deal, they had to go all these minor channels. It really it ended them probably longer than it should have. They stuck around a lot longer. The fact they're still around, but you know what I mean? In that era, in that world, they stuck around longer than they probably should have. But the Khans own so much. They're in business so hard with Time Warner and TNT and TBS that they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want. They can schedule shows the way they want. It doesn't matter if they're winning. Remember when Tony Khan was talking about CM Punk being the greatest financial investment that AEW ever made? All this crazy ass fucking stuff that he just says with unfounded stuff that just gets taken by some of the fucking spurgy wrestling community is just absolutely incredible. Teddy, I hope the Moist Wrestling League, MWL, gets higher numbers than AEW someday just to mess with Tony Khan's mother. Yep. King Freak 79, Aces and Eights were the best storyline out of TNA. No, it wasn't. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Aces and Eights. Stop it. Tony Khan doesn't have good people in his ear. I don't think he has anyone in his ear. I think he is just one of those self-affirming people. He's his own yes man. Most of the wrestlers are taking advantage of him as a boss. I can definitely see the issue. Dave, he won't have someone in his ear that needs to tell him what he needs. You think Vince McMahon get where he is by being nice? No. But Vince has had some really bad and ruthless people in his ear over the year. Look, think about how long Kevin Dunn kept his position and was able to be Bucky the Weasel for as long as he was. You know, you can do that and still survive. But the reality is WWE has not been knocked off the perch, not even close. Ratings and this, listen. Linda, Linda. The fact that kayfabe died, okay? I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret. Maybe you don't know this, okay? Wrestling had a serious problem when kayfabe died, okay? They had a serious issue. Kayfabe being dead and being exposed by the internet and people having a voice, having an opinion, having instant reaction with the promoters. This has never happened before. And it killed kayfabe. Everybody knows what's happening in wrestling now. Wrestling is the greatest, oldest traveling, the only traveling circus left. Circuses don't even travel. Barnum and Bailey, they're all done. WWE is it. And they know all the tricks. They know how to emotionally manipulate. Because remember, the premise of wrestling is to get you to emotionally believe and emotionally invest in something you know is not actually happening. You know some or most of what you're seeing physically is not happening in the way that you are seeing it. So you have to be emotionally invested and emotionally manipulated in ways to be able to sustainably pay your money to do this, okay? That's the fucking premise. That's the job. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. All right? So when it gets taken away, what is wrestling supposed to do? The guys in charge have got to come up with something. The dirt sheets didn't go away. They moved over to the internet. And they had to come up with arguments. They had to come up with something to get people invested. Now, one of the things that was becoming very obvious that the way that wrestling was being consumed was changing. Ratings were changing. Ratings were not these huge numbers anymore. The wrestling wars were the wrestling wars because of the ratings. People were seeing crazy numbers being posted and they were only going up. We haven't had that in years. But yet, more money is being made now than then. More people are rich now in wrestling than they were during the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? And that's not even, you can't deny that. The merch sales, everything, record fucking attend, everything. They are up on all of it. They got it over the Attitude Era and drawing as like a fucking tent at this point, guys. So why were they able to do it? It's because they were able to take this new information about something they know is frivolous, which is the the ratings numbers, and they were able to think about what the numbers really represent. Nobody really cares about the 1 million or the 1. Everything that Tony Khan has built any sort of movement off of has been that key demographic, the 19 to 40. That vaunted demographic that they barely have any actual viewership of. They're talking about 300,000 people. That's the number that they're fighting at. That's how much that they're drawing even at their max. In that demographic, it's max 300 to 400,000 people. And the reason why it's so vaunted is because that's where the money is being spent. Those are people buying the shirts either for themselves or for their kids. But I feel that's changed. I feel that we see more people watching wearing wrestling merch and buying wrestling merch as novelty and as just wrestling shirts than ever before. There's so much more that is happening in the wrestling industry. So they had to fucking use this to create a new paradigm, a new talking point, new tribalism, and that's what they've been able to do. And the funniest thing about it to me is, who do you think is creating all the noise about that rating? It's the same 300,000 fucking people. Those are the ones that are active on social media. Those are the diehards. Those are the people that are like me, have been watching their entire life, that'll probably continue to watch it and all that fucking stuff. That's who we're talking about. So the people who are being so noisy, they're on the internet. They're not a huge number. They're the last of the dying breed. They're it. And that's who's driving this. They've learned how to work that number, and both sides do it beautifully to create this false narrative. It's awesome. Dinosaur, they're virtually the same. The numbers are they're within percent. Even this week with that shit on Tuesday, it was 0.30 to 0.24 or 26. We're talking about hundreds of a point. It's ridiculous. The number, and the reason why those numbers are so close is because people are going back and forth. It's crazy to me that this is even a point. But that's been the manipulation. That's what you've bought into. That's what the wrestling fan base has turned this into. And Tony Khan and others have really used that to his advantage. That's what's happened. And it's crazy to me. I'm all for it. This is fucking fun. This shit's fun, especially when you have such a spurgy moron like Tony Khan, man. Like this guy. What a fucking mark. Do you think Burger King and McDonald's are worry about each other? No. And even when they do it in such beautiful ways where they'll take like these small minor shots, or they just compete. They bring back the McRib. Burger King does the huge family bundle deals. You do whatever you got to do to compete, but you shut your fucking mouth about it. WWE, they'll take their shots. But the fact that, how many WWE references do you think we get on an AEW every week? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I think the over-under between all their shows has got to be three. I'll say three. And maybe that doesn't seem like a lot to you. But if we're getting 3 WWE references a week out of AEW programming, I think that's horrendous. I think that's fucking horrible. Like, what the shit? What the shit? They had 3 in that fucking promo battle with Edge last week. Edge and this other idiot. He's like, what the shit? It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. But anyway, that's about all I got. I've been wanting to hate fuck Tony Khan for so long because he's just the worst. If you guys have anything, jump into Discord. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love you to keep conversation going. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it right here in the comments section after the show. You can do all of that. Yeah, the promo at Ricky Starks. Yeah, it was terrible. Ricky Starks sucks too. You guys, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about all this stuff. It's so great. During the Monday Night Wars, Vince never mentioned WCW. Yeah, I don't think they ever really did. Well, that's not true. They did. Remember, DX actually fucking invaded WCW. It's not even about how it's how you do it, you know? It doesn't matter if it's been done before. Like, the fact that it was done before is a good reason to not do it again. But AEW is so opposite of that. They're like, if it worked before, we'll do it again. We'll just pound it into the ground. We'll just keep on doing it. Just keep on going all over, and we'll just keep doing these. We'll just keep on doing all the stuff that from before. We'll get a Brood reunion. It's like, we'll get the Hardys and Edge and Christian and all this fucking shit. Just like, But anyway, I just can't anymore. So Monday Night Raw is about to start. I'm actually think I'm going to watch Monday Night Raw. Oh, fuck, I don't have USA. I got to fix that. I'll find a link or something. I got to watch that shit. All right. Thank you guys for hanging. Oh, I can watch it. I forgot. I do it. I have a way. I forgot. Yeehaw. Thank you guys for hanging out. I greatly appreciate you. Hopefully you had a fantastic time tonight. We got one more rip. I'm not going to do the volcano because I didn't turn it on yet. And honestly, you didn't earn it. You didn't earn to see the greatest weed device in the world. You didn't earn it tonight. Okay? Maybe another day you'll earn it, but not tonight. We may be back tonight right here. There's a very good chance if I'm up and I'm motivated by Monday Night Raw, you might see me again tonight because I'm feeling like doing a little bit of Raw review. What? I'm thinking about doing a little Raw review. What? Raw review? What? Will I record it? What? Will I do it live? What? If you want me to do it, give me a hell yeah. I said, if you want me to do a Raw review, give me a hell yeah, you stupid bastards. Hey, look, Verse in the house. Love the volcano. Shit's so smooth. Oh, it's like butter. Versty baby. It's so nice. Goes down so good. Oh, and I got that black Onyx one. Ooh. I just need the one with the digi. I need the digi. So that's the plan. Expect some sort of review. I may do it live, I may not. I also still have a little bit of itch to do the Pokemon Unite moves. But here's what I need you to do right now. Get your pieces out. Get your things together. Get your shit out. Because we're going to do one more rip. One more rip. We're talking about that one more rip. And then we're going to get the F out of here. I appreciate everybody for hanging. Have a great night. Have yourselves a merry Dave Miss, and we'll see you next time right here. Keep it copious. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like Real Talk, the metaphor Messiah, who's going to take us home to that morning light. Hit him with it there, Jay.
Got my superstition, say the government been scheming, here we go. I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she's super real, she think that ain't nobody cool as me. Fly it in Pacifics, I'll be ripping till I'm gone. I sit back and blaze away like I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. But I guess that's what I need in life, cause I don't get no sleep at night. So I'ma just keep grinding till my people see the morning light. feel like I'm Alexander's prodigy. Fuck your death threats, them niggas always talking honorary. The Pentagon the same, they trying to mold us in the pottery. But even if I die, my lyrics still a living history. You mean they treat us like we pawns and we listen cause we scared they ain't gon' beef with Genghis Khan? I'm higher than a dinosaur, she Oreo like Baltimore. I taught them what I know, that make me feel like I was Gryffindor. Get your game right, she hot, I call her sunlight. With lips like she's Brad's life, I ask her cause a crash site. But that's the way it is, I guess I play protagonist. This shit will never change, I'ma go out with her. This may be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government was scheming. This must be everything I'm dreaming. I wake up, my superstition say the government been scheming. Here we go. I roll up, they say the city lights is feeling me. My girl, she super real, she think that ain't nobody cool as me. Flyer than Pacifics, I'll be ripping till I'm gone. I sit back and blaze away like I'm Akeem Olajuwon. Yeah, da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Hip-hop, I'm real talk. Da-da-da.
Good luck, Jay Philly.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world.
You know we always dig each and every single day. Thank you, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah. As always, we think about you every day, buddy. All right. That's all I got. I had fun. I really love tearing into Tony Khan. I've been having fun doing wrestling again, so expect more of it. We'll see if we do a Raw review tonight, and whatever we do, we're going to do it copiously. Have a great night. Get your pieces out. One more Rick and oh, by the way, new Rick and Morty's out. We'll talk about that tomorrow and whatever else is on my mind. We're also going to try and get the pumpkin video out. I recorded some stuff for my Dave Day that did not turn into a big Dave Day, but I still had fun regardless. So shut up, fake. Smoke it. Good night, suckamugs.